Bungie has just dropped a massive Twid on us, detailing all the different new weapons coming with Revenant, new Iron Banner weapons. It's a crazy one. We're going to jump through all of this, starting with Hunting Scorn with new gear. We got, speaking of weapons, it's high time we present to you the seasonal weapons dropping along Revenant. They all share the same origin trait called Dark Ether Harvest. Their perks can be enhanced, and during Act 1 you'll have the following 7 available. There are some redacted perks if you prefer to find out while playing. Got it. Insurmountable Void Precision Frame Sidearm. Alright. We got Repulsor Brace, To the Pain, Threat Detector, Attrition Orbs, Demolitionist, Air Trigger. And then we got Destabilizing Rounds, Desperate Measures, One for All, Surrounded Rampage, that redacted perk. And Harmony. Very interesting. So this will be sidearm here. We got Sovereignty, Void Adaptive Frame Sniper Rifle. That's the sniper there. Explosive Payload, Discord Reconstruction, Enlightened Action, No Distractions, Demo Strategist, Harmony, Desperate Measures, Precision Instrument, Box Breathing, Adrenaline Junkie, and Firing Line. We got Red Tape, Stasis, Lightweight Frame Scout Rifle. Got you right there. And we got, we can see all the different perks they have here as well. We'll go through all the different god rolls. We'll make a separate video talking about all of them. Vantage Point, we got Arc Adaptive Frame Pulse Rifle. Nice. So we're also going to have Exuve, which is a Stasis Aggressive Frame Hand Cannon. And we got Bittersweet, Arc Adaptive Frame Grenade Launcher. And Liturgy, Stasis Double Fire Grenade Launcher. Very nice, very nice. An update on seasonal weapon crafting in our Developer Insight Core Game Rewards article. We briefly discussed the future of weapon crafting. While those changes are months away, we are not ready to share them in detail yet. We can comment on the new direction we are moving towards with Revenant. As we looked back at Into the Light, we believe that part of the success was the chase for Brave Arsenal weapons, with the attunement system helping to focus that pursuit. We want to move more towards that experience, so starting in Revenant, the seasonal weapons will not be craftable. Perks can still be enhanced using extra materials, and there will be updates to unlock as you play the episode to target specific weapons and even get extra perks per columns. Alright. I'm a big fan of that. I think grinding for god rolls was always more fun in the game, as long as the activities are fun and the loot is worth it. We have Believe the new activities in episodes will work better when built around gear chase, rewarding with more than other activities and unlocking improvements like vendor focusing to help you get your desired rolls, or even the option to get more perks in a given column. Very nice. So that potion stuff will give you not just the desired weapons, but even more perks in a given column to help you get those god rolls. Crafting will remain a way for players to get that roll they desire, and it's not going away, as you can see below, but for some time, the value of individual weapon drops in that god roll pursuit has been replaced, if not nullified, by whether or not they dropped with Deep Sight activated. We hope this change will revitalize the passion to hunt down new weapons. I do think that this will help hunt down the passion for new weapons, but also, because crafted weapons currently exist in the ecosystem, there will be some, you know, people will be like, I don't want to grind for the god roll, I already have a crafted version of that, you know? So it's an interesting dilemma that we're in now. Reprised Garden of Salvation weapons. This is insane. This is nuts. While seasonal weapons return more towards a focus on the chase, we still want to reward invested players with great weapons that can be crafted. Okay, so you're going to be able to grind Garden for the crafted weapon. The Reprising Garden of Salvation weapons with new perks and a new element, even in the case of certain hand cannon. Really? Alright. We believe that the frictioned nature of the rotator and the revamped content are more closely aligned with our goals for weapon crafting. So get ready to jump back into the raid, and don't forget to visit Hawthorne at the tower, as she will offer a quest that grants a deep sight version of a weapon every week. Here's a preview of the returning weapons. We have highlighted some very unique perk combos I think you might find intriguing, to say the least. Alright, Reckless Oracle. It's got rapid fire, and it can have destabilizing rounds, paracausal affinity. Nice. We got Accrued Redemption, Kinetic Precision Compound Bow, Offhand Strike Archer's Gambit. And so we got Zealot's Reward, Void Rapid Fire Fusion Rifle, Destabilizing Rounds Reservoir Burst. Alright. We got Ancient Gospel, Void Adaptive Hand Cannon, Rampage Kill Clip. Oh! Oh. We're doing that. We're doing double damage perks on a crafted weapon now. On a Void crafted weapon. This is the new meta hand cannon in PvE. That's it. That's the meta. Grab that. Definitely get that. Sacred Provenance, Kinetic Aggressive Pulse Rifle, Demo and Kinetic Treasures, or Tremors. I said Treasures. Prophet of Doom, Arc Precision Shotgun, Threat Remover, Volt Shot, Omniscient Eye, 4 times Charm, Precision Instrument. Got it. I love this Omniscient Eye back in the day. And even more weapons, if that wasn't all. We got this. A preview of weapons that are coming to Trials of Osiris. So here we go. We got Pursuit, Fair Judgment, Stasis Precision Auto Rifle, Crucible, Anonymous Autumn, Arc Lightweight Sidearm, Comp. We have Deadlock, Stasis Precision Frame Shotgun, Vanguard Ops, Wicked Sister, Strand Adaptive Grenade Launcher, Nightfall, Rake, Angle, Stasis Aggressive Glaive, not the Glaive. Plug 1, Arc Precision Fusion Rifle. Although I should say, what is an aggressive glaive? Is that, what is that archetype? Gambit, Bygones, Kinetic Adaptive Pulse Rifle. Interesting. Bygones is back. There are even more weapons coming in this episode. Once each new act launches, starting October 11th, you'll also be able to have new dungeon weapons to try. Let's not forget about those weapons from the Season of Splicer that are getting reprised. Let us know what your favorite rules are when you get them. Got it. So you got all of that. You got all of those weapons. All the new seasonal weapons, Iron Banner weapons. Iron Banner weapons as well. They're about to mention right here. Dungeon weapons. Okay. You may have noticed a set of weapons missing in the previous section. Worry not. Gather around the fire. Wolves old and young. Lord Saladin has some news to share with you all. Reminder that he also goes by Valis Forge of the Cabal Empire now. Gotcha. To honor the old traditions, his Iron Banner will be back at the tower for 2 consecutive weeks starting on November 5th. And to reward your might and to push you to hone your skills further, he's brought new armor and weapons. Behold the new Iron Intent armor set in all its glory. Nice. This looks good. The Hunter one looks really good, I'd say. The Warlock helmet goes kind of crazy. I don't like this Titan helmet for some reason, but I love the Titan gauntlets, the chest, and the boots. I love everything except the helmet on this Titan. This goes hard though. I'm gonna get this set. I have to grind for this. Now feast your eyes with the new weapons. We're pretty sure that they have very eager to go back into the fray. The first weapon is the first ever of its kind, while the second is an old friend revitalized with a new element. We have Ganasha's Mastery Stasis Rocket Frame Sidearm. Got you. So a special ammo sidearm. We've seen, obviously we've got Buried Bloodline, which is the exotic Void version. We have the Arc one, which is called Indebted Kindness. We have a Solar one, and we have the Strand one in the kinetic slot. This will be the first one, or the second one in the kinetic slot. It'll be Stasis. Air Trigger, Offhand Strike, Deconstruct, Enlighten Action, Impulse Amplifier, Loose Change, and Reverberation. And then we have Adagio, Bait and Switch, Chill Clip, Desperate Measures, Frenzy, One for All Surrounded. So they put bold font on Loose Change and Chill Clip. So what happens is Loose Change gives you faster reload when you've affected an enemy by a stasis, or by a status effect, I believe. So I think that Chill Clip's slowing everything would do that, perhaps. So Loose Change, Chill Clip could be a really interesting combo. The first ever one we've seen with Chill Clip. So that would actually go pretty hard. Very interesting. And then we have Archon's Thunder. It's this Stasis high impact machine gun. I don't really like these high impact machine guns too much, but Air Trigger, Enlightened Action, Redacted Perk, Dynamic Sway, Envious Assassin, 4 times Charm, high impact reserves. Desperate Measures, Onslaught, Headstone, Killing Tally, tap the trigger, target lock, rewind rounds. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that archetype, but we'll see. Fixing some weapon ornaments. Got you. So it looks like their gear systems and workflow team found an issue with certain weapon ornaments that caused them to not look the way they were supposed to. This includes extra bits of geometry here and there, corrupted textures. Alright, when an artist makes a new ornament, they're building a whole new weapon model. Here's what it is before the fix. This was before the fix. This is after the fix. To the untrained eye, there is no difference. Oh, I can see there's like some textures in here. Gotcha, textures in here. Gotcha. So they're fixing some weapon ornaments. Gotcha. The re-inverted spire is here. Very nice. A Nessa strike where you can fight through some cannons, cave, battlefield until you reach an enormous drill that went so deep it found trouble. Well, it's back with a vengeance. Not that it ever left. It was still possible to play it in game, but it was one of the original Destiny 2 strikes that were bound for an update, and so it's coming. There's a new narrative to go with it because it's time. The Vex are the main enemy present. Very cool. Wyverns. About to get crazy. I always liked this strike. I thought it was really funny when this boss bugged out and was 3 times the size he was originally. That would be so good. If Bungie really wants to win the community over with a funny thing, this boss right here, Protheon, randomly spawned in and he was 3 times the normal size he was supposed to be. And it was hilarious. Hilarious bug. I've never seen that before. And they have a Discord quest. If you go in their Destiny 2 Discord for 15 minutes, you can earn a Celestial Ties shader. So if you want to do that, Hurricane Helene support. If you don't know, people got destroyed by Hurricane Helene. Right now, people are in like North Carolina. It's like 300 miles away from the shore. They are destroyed. So anyone that supports this, Team Rubicon, Direct Leaf, that is definitely appreciated. The hurricane went right by where I live. Didn't destroy anything from me, but there are definitely friends that I have that are currently scooping out sand from everywhere in their entire house. It's crazy. We have the Revenant dev stream. The wait is almost over. Only 5 more days for you to start playing Revenant. Fikro is back. Got you. They talked about it in the dev stream. We covered the entirety of that. Learn all about the new artifact. Okay, we got this new artifact coming. We covered all the different mods. The only ones we couldn't see before was this one, Brain Freeze. Frozen combatants become surrounded by a chilling fog, which slows combatants that aren't already. That's actually insane. That's going to be busted. Weapons with Dark Ether Origin trait, deal more damage. That's cool. Supernova, picking up a Void Breach causes your next Void Source damage to create a large weakening pulse. That sounds also really cool. Hunter, we got Lucky Pants, has been one of the more complicated exotic pieces. We're going to go through all of the exotic tuning now for Revenant. Quite a bit here. Lucky Pants has been one of the more complicated exotic pieces, and limitations were necessary but because of the maximum strength of its perk. Unfortunately, the high-end strength of Lucky Pants was causing constraints in terms of other PV bouncing. We have decided to kill 2 hive moths with 1 shot and reduce the complexity while bringing down the maximum potency. To offset this, we have also added some new benefits to the exotic, which will be especially nice for the movement-focused hand cannon users who enjoy using stompies, but wish they could also have improved airborne effectiveness and handling. Oh! PvP people about to bust out the Lucky Pants. Now provides movement bonuses, including increased slide distance and sprint speed when a hand cannon is equipped. Okay. Airborne effective bonus is active whenever a hand cannon is equipped. Not just when a legally modded holster buff is active. And we got no longer requires the hand cannon to be matched to the super damage type or kinetic to receive the PV damage buff. And out of luck cooldown will only trigger if you reach 7 stacks of the PV damage buff before swapping the weapon or time expires. Maximum damage has been decreased from 600% to 450%. Got you. Lucky Pants getting adjusted. They're easily one of the most powerful exotics, especially when used with Warden's Law. Young Ahamkar Spy, we wanted to take another swing to get a better preserve their previous PvE gameplay while keeping handle on the effectiveness in PvP. Once again, provides ability energy on trip mine grenades, hits instead of final blows, plus 33% grenade energy, and plus 8 in PvP. Got it. So there's just a small buff to Ahamkara's spine. The Light Ranger is rooted in boosting Arc Staff's reflection, but it's primarily seen as some niche tactics that leverage its out-of-band orbs of power regeneration. To make it more viable in the broader game without deviating from its fantasy, we replaced that behavior with elements from Raiju's harness. Added the ability to cancel your Arc Staff super while equipped, damaging and blinding nearby enemies, and granting a tier 4 arc weapon damage boost. Nice. Damage dealt by this effect scales based on the number of projectiles reflected prior to canceling. No longer creates orbs of power when reflecting projectiles with Arc Staff. Reflecting projectiles now instead directly refunds super energy, extending the duration of your super. Nice, okay. You might be able to extend the duration of your super pretty far if you're reflecting a ton of stuff, I guess. Raiju's harness, with almost all of its old behaviors moved to Blight Ranger. We've built Raiju's harness based on its lore tab to differentiate it from other Arc Staff exotics. Now enhances the Arc Super Gathering Storm, calling down lightning around the user when it's activated, as well as adding a neutral game source of super energy. Fully reworked its behavior of its exotic trait, Mobius Conduit, inspired by its lore tab. Activating Gathering Storm calls down lightning on all nearby targets, jolting them while also amplifying allies. Feeding arc debuff targets grants a small amount of Gathering Storm energy. That actually sounds sick. You're going to throw your Arc Staff and it's going to call down lightning on all the nearby enemies. So you throw it at the boss, hit that, any nearby enemies, jolting them, amplifying allies. Jeez. Essentialism. Prismatic Hunters have access to lots of stacking melee damage bonuses, which all compound with each other, leading to some out-of-band melee damage. Spirit of Syntheseps already provides a lower bonus if you have Combination Blow active. In Revenant, it will provide that same lower bonus while the Stylus Executioner buff is active. Spirit of Syntheseps reduce the melee damage bonus provided while Bionic Enhancements and Stylus Executioner are active by 50%. Oof. Titan, Icefall Mantle. Icefall Mantle's core fantasy is all about becoming an invulnerable icy tank. Alright, they're gonna make this crazy, right? This is the stasis season, right? The Titan's about to get reworked big time. This is big behemoth W right here for Titans. Surely. We have reworked it to focus on that fantasy, making it all about providing and improving frost armor instead of providing stasis weapon damage. You now gain a stack of frost armor for rapid stasis final blows. Each time you gain a stack of frost armor from any source, you will heal for a small amount. Nice. Unique class ability granted by Icefall Mantle now provides maximum stacks of frost armor instead of its custom overshield. Okay. You also immediately heal for each stack that it gets added. It no longer prevents sprinting or jumping abilities, and it now works when Thruster is equipped. Okay. Class ability energy now begins to recharge immediately after using Icefall Mantle's class ability. The burst of stasis energy from the class ability now freezes combatants and slows players. Whoa, okay. No longer provides bonus stasis weapon damage. Now requires a stasis super to be equipped to benefit from its exotic effects. Alright. That's a pretty crazy Icefall Mantle change. Icefall Mantle used to be like you popped your class ability and you got like an overshield, but you couldn't walk anywhere. This would be a pretty interesting change. And we also have Cadmus Ridge Lance Cap. Be pretty cool for the Stasis Titans as well. We feel this exotic has fun gameplay loop that was a bit too restricted, so we're relaxing some of its requirements. Remove the stasis weapon requirement. Now any final blows or rapid precision hits while behind a rally barricade and with the stasis super equipped will create a diamond lance near you. Got you. Directly hitting any powerful combatants with the diamond lance will now create 3 stasis crystals. Whoa. All right. Ursa Furiosa and Spirit of the Bear. Now that Unbreakable has been live for a bit, we feel the exotics could provide additional super energy while using it in PvE. However, the gains provided in PvP were leading to players getting access to their super more quickly than we would like. So they increased the maximum super energy gain for Unbreakable in PvE from 15 to 20%. Fixed issue where you are gaining more super energy from Unbreakable in PvP than intended now provides a maximum 10%. We got Cuirass of the Falling Star. We'd like Cuirass to feel less required to make Thunder Crash viable, but to also improve it to be more valuable across the whole of an activity. We're reducing the Thunder Crash damage multiplier. When this is combined with the buff base Thunder Crash damage overall, damage will remain the same. Okay, so an adjustment here. We're also adding the ability for it to help generate super energy for Thunder Crash, as well as transitioning the exotic to provide more damage resistance instead of an overshield, bring it better in line with the Arc subclass. Main and final blows, while amplified, now grant super energy. Nice. And reduce the damage bonus from Cuirass to Thunder Crash from 2 times to 1.55. This keeps the overall damage similar to what it was previously. And replace the overshield after impact with damage resistance. 50% PvE, 10% PvP. Okay. Change to Falling Star. Peacekeepers has been a presence in Crucible for some time, but never really felt like it had a place in PvE content. We have given it characteristics that resemble Lucky Pants, but for SMGs. With a PvE damage bonus that escalates as you deal more damage. We've heard rumors it pairs nicely with a couple of exotic weapon buffs below. Dealing damage to combatants with an SMG increases SMG damage for a short time. Maximum of 20 stacks. Lasts for 1 second. Each hit adds a stack and refreshes the timer. Got you. Peacekeepers are about to be pretty good, it sounds like. Mask of the Quiet One, we wanted to lean into the vampiric nature of this exotic by allowing it to grant access to the potent Devour status effect, in addition to its previous effects. Rapid Final Blows and Final Blows while at critical health will now grant Devour. Wow. This effect requires a Void Super to be equipped. Okay. That's a great change to Mask of the Quiet One. Seems pretty simple though, right? What a simple exotic. Stoicism. We felt that limiting the Spirit of the Horn, Alphalupi, and Hoarfrost effects to only work with barricades don't align with the goals of Prismatic as a way to break past the limits. We're updating them to also work with Titan's Thruster ability. Spirit of the Horn, activating Thruster leaves a ball of solar energy behind, exploding and applying Scorch to enemies caught in the blast. Got you. Spirit of Alphalupi, activating Thruster leaves you healing nearby allies. Oh wow. You heal with Alphalupi with that. Very cool. Hoarfrost, activating Thruster spawns a pair of stasis crystals. Okay. Good change overall. That's everything for Titan. Now we get to jump on to the Warlock changes. We got Balador's Wrathweavers. We are further enhancing this exotic's support capabilities while tweaking it to allow bonus super shatter damage to be more useful in a raid environment. Adjusted the Heart of Ice perk to increase the shatter damage of targets frozen by Shadebinder super projectiles by 100%, regardless of who breaks them out. We got added granting Frost Armor to your allies with Frost Pulse or Winter's Wrath grants you super energy, ranges and potency on how many allies it's granted to. Interesting. And then we got Skull of Dire Hamakara to help you sling more Nova Bombs. We're giving a neutral game benefit to Skull of Dire Hamakara that feels fitting for a Voidwalker playstyle. Added weapon defeats while Devour is active grants super energy, ranges from 1% to 4.5% depending on the target defeated. Wow. Okay, so Skull is going to be kind of crazy. Has a very similar element to like we're talking about with Falling Star. Similar dynamic to that. So you just have to have Devour procs and you're just going to get your super back really fast. You're going to be throwing Nova Bombs like crazy. Or I guess you could pop Nova Warper. Well, Sanguine Alchemy, we got Warlocks have had some of the lowest exotic armor variety in PvP. That's true. They've literally been using just the exotic gauntlets, and that's it. That's just all they use. Warlocks and their exotic gauntlets. Maybe Transversive, but that's about it. As for a while, it has felt like they were missing a target marking exotic in the same realm as Knucklehead Radar or One-Eyed Mask. Uh-oh. What better candidate fulfilled that role than the one that has already used to do it, Sanguine Alchemy? Wanted to be careful to make sure that the target marking didn't feel unfair to fight in a Crucible fight like it did in its original iteration. We wanted to make sure it was in line with the soon-to-be upcoming post-nerf state of Knucklehead Radar. But activate target marking, you must damage a target within a rift, and mark will fall off after 5 seconds compared to the just look at them and get 7 seconds of marking from current Knucklehead Radar. Got you. Now marks targets you damage while standing in a rift. You deal 10% extra damage from any source against marked targets. Provides surge times 4 weapons that match your super damage. Got you. Okay. Marking targets when in a rift. Warlocks continue to sit in their rift, and now they mark targets. Unbelievable. Just kidding. Sit in your rifts, Warlocks. Live your life. Verity's Brow and Spirit of Verity. We are front-loading more of the bonus grenade damage for this exotic to increase its potency, even if you aren't able to build to full stacks. First stack of Death Throws now provides plus 40% grenade damage in PvE. Each an additional stack provides plus 15% grenade damage, up to a max of plus 100% at 5 stacks. PvP damage is unchanged. Then we have Cenotaph Mask. We heard your feedback that hiding the target marker from the player wearing Cenotaph was confusing. So we're reverting that change. Damaging a vehicle, boss, or champion with a trace rifle. Once again, will visually mark the target for the player using Cenotaph. Gotcha. Osmomancy Gloves can feel frustrating to play against in PvP, and they can allow Cold Snap Seekers to catch players in ways that feel unfair. Want to address without adjusting the bonus grenade energy they provide. Keep their PvE viability intact. Reduce the increased Seeker distance and speed by 50%. Alright. Speaker Sight. We pretty rapidly pulled the parachute on Speaker Sight Orb Generation in Crucible as we made for some less favorable play patterns. After some iteration and internal playtesting, we think we land on a spot where we can bring back Orb Generation and Crucible without encouraging self-damage and stalling at the start of the match. 6 instances of healing a damaged ally, and Crucible will spawn an Orb of Power. There it is. 6 instances, and then you can spawn Orb of Power. Super damage exotic tuning. With Revenant, we're taking a passive balancing potential damage output provided to one-shot super abilities by the exotic armor pieces that enhance them. Our goal is to better standardize damage around various options while ensuring that supers that are more challenging to use or require the player to put themselves in a disadvantaged position are more potent. And they also have doubled down with this while the exotics have been adjusted as well. As you can see up above there, various different exotics now just like help you regenerate your super back faster. So you get more supers rather than just having like a really powerful super and having it less uptime. Here's a list of exotic and super combinations we are looking to dial in, ranked by how much damage they will pull out after this update. Here we go. Grasp the Falling Star plus Thunder Crash, unchanged. Pyro Gauntlets plus Burning Maul, 10%. Spirit of the Star Eater, Nova Bomb, 12%. Spirit of Star Eater, Twilight Arsenal, 26%. Spirit of Star Eater, Neostorm, unchanged. Star Eater, Gathering Storm, unchanged. Celestial Nighthawk, Golden Gun, 5%. Down. We feel this order reflects the advantages and disadvantages inherent in each super, and with those that are quicker and easier to use, outputting less damage than those that ask more of their user. The range of damage is such that in Revenant, Celestial Nighthawk Golden Gun will still deal around 70% of the damage of a Cuirass Thunder Crash. So while these changes may look scary, they actually are going to bring these supers closer together in damage, allowing more options to be competitive and viable in our most challenging content. Needle Storm and Gathering Storm, we're already aligned with these goals and are not receiving any adjustments. The rest received the following changes. Cuirass of the Falling Star, as noted above, reduced the damage bonus from Cuirass to Thunder Crash 2 times to 1.5 times. However, when paired with increased Thunder Crash base damage, this nets out as the same damage overall compared to live. Pyrogale Gauntlets, increased Cyclone's damage by 10%. We got Spirit of the Star Eater. Reduce the benefit from Nova Bomb from 70 to 50%. Reduce the benefit granted to Thunder Crash from 70%, 50%. And Twilight Arsenal from 70% to 25%. From 70% to 25%? Huh? Celestial Nighthawk reduced the damage versus bosses 5%. You're gonna nerf Twilight Arsenal, at least make the axes land, Bungie. What do you mean? Catch me crying at the club tonight. Oh my god. Weapon archetypes. We wanted to encourage more accurate gunplay and PvE without making content feel like a slog. We have made small redistribution of damage dealt by most primary weapons. In practice, this means slightly increasing the critical hit damage while reducing the body shot damage by corresponding amount. Every sum family has been tuned by hand. They all generally fall within the 5 to 7% range as noted below. Alright, we got auto rifle, scout, pulse, submachine gun, sidearms, hand cannons. Reduced how PV damage is dealt. You slightly prioritize critical hits. You better start hitting the headshot on those dregs, is what Bungie said. No more body shots, right? Increase critical hit damage by 5 to 7% depending on frame. Decrease body shot damage by 5 to 7% depending on frame. Shanks are reading this and rejoicing right now. Heavy burst pulse rifles have been a tale of two worlds. Incredibly strong in PvE, unfortunately not up to par in PvP. We want to bring them more in line for both sandboxes. They have increased RPM by approximately 20. We reduce their PvE damage slightly more to offset the faster rate of fire. Ends up granting them a faster time to kill in PvP while reducing their DPS approximately 10% in PvE. Pulse rifles, heavy burst. Increase RPM from 300 to 324. Decrease damage in PvE by 18% for legendary weapons in the subfamily. Graviton Lance from Revision 0 burst mode by 8%. Got you. Now, none of these are too crazy. Sniper rifles have felt out of place in PvE for quite some time without any defined role. They're not top tier DPS. I want to change that and further reward snipers against more than just bosses. So we've greatly increased their non-boss damage and reduced their flinch against combatants. In Crucible, while it is positive that players can feel the challenge snipers, not worry about being shot through flinch, the amount of camera movement the flinch imparts is unnecessarily jarring. We're going to be walking that back until we find an acceptable middle ground. So snipers getting reduced flinch 50%, reduced camera roll against players 10%, increased damage against miners 60%. We're shooting red bars with our snipers now. Majors 75%, mini bosses 35%, champions 25%. A sniper meta. Let's go. Glaives, just glaives, no. Glaives are going to get more substantial overhaul in episode 3. For now, we wanted to correct a long lingering issue where previews of the magazine could be incorrect depending on your perks. Got you. To fix that. Uh-oh. Episode 3, what is going on? A glaive overhaul? I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for a glaive overhaul. Shotguns have struggled to find their identity in PvE in a world where fusions and rocket sidearms are strong and less risky to use. They've taken the step to greatly increase the range in PvE only to allow players to utilize them at slightly safer distances in high-end content. Got you. You got an increase in use your shotguns at further range now. Rocket sidearms are the kings of the mountain in PvE right now. That's what I'm talking about. You better not. Don't do it. Don't do it, Bungie. And in large part, this stems from their ability to effectively be used as a primary weapon. We're taking a larger look at their dominance in Heresy. For now, we'll reduce their ammo reserves by 25%. This is why you need lead from gold. Reducing those ammo reserves. Lead from gold on that indebted kindness. Lead from gold on your rocket frame sidearm. Remember that. Trace rifles can be strong in the right hands in Crucible, but for most players, they're too ammo hungry for using them. Yeah, there's just not enough ammo from them. I used to like it a lot when there was like a bunch of ammo, but not anymore. In PvP, they're raising the ammo from 25 to 29. It's 4. I mean, Adaptive frame machine guns are the strongest in both Crucible and PvE. We believe high impacts have some room to grow, so we have increased their critical hit damage slightly. Machine guns high impact increase critical hit damage by 4%. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Especially we're talking about Archon Thunder coming back and Iron Banner. That's good. Heavy ammo grenade launchers have turned into something of a fire in the general direction and get kills weapon. Hey, what's wrong with that? I feel like I'm being called out personally here. Which also benefits from having a substantial amount of ammo in both sandboxes. I want to punish them slightly more in the direction of accurate fire on stronger targets and reward direct impacts. In addition, rapid fires have lingered on the low end for a while. Are directly buffing their damage to be more competitive. Heavy ammo grenade launchers general decrease damage from the detonation by 5%, increase projectile impact damage correspondingly globally. In PvE, total damage is the same, just split different between detonation and impact. PvP, heavy GLs now deal approximately 7 and 26% more impact damage depending on the blast radius stat. Gotcha. So you want less blast radius, so that way you can hit a direct impact and get the maximum damage. They covered a lot of this. For our Revenant Exotic, we've already covered all of this in a previous video. Exotic weapons. For our Revenant Exotic Weapons Balance Pass, we focus on elements that would be featured in the artifact, as well as those that have needed some love for a while. So we got Choir of One, shipped a bit too hot. Yeah, they talked about that, reducing the reserves for Choir of One. Huckleberry now fully reloads on kills. Replace the callus with kinetic tremors on Huckleberry. Okay. Okay. Huckleberry is back. Carbog can be a beast in the right situation. We took a note from Risk Runner to solve that. While Ravenous Beast is active, gain damage resistance against incoming solar damage. 50% versus combatants, 15% versus players. Specifically incoming solar damage, not just all incoming damage. Damn. Alright, Tarba is about to go crazy. Symmetry can have a hard time going in on high pressure situations. Symmetry now gains a stack of dynamic charge on kills in addition to precision hits. Got you. Duality has been popular in PvP for its versatility, but it doesn't compete against other options in PvE. We made it a bit easier to activate this perk and keep going alongside global shotgun changes. On Black Wings, stacks for max effects reduced from 5 to 3. extended duration buff from 7 seconds to 10 seconds. Bad Juju. I haven't seen anyone use or talk about this in a long time. Has a hard time getting its streak going in PvE, especially in higher end content. We made some changes to help it reach the higher stacks of String of Curses a bit easier. Increase lifetime of String of Curses from 3.5 seconds base to 5.5 seconds base. 7.5 with the catalyst. Increase magazine size from 27 to 36. Okay. This weapon also appears to have become more haunted than it used to be. Alright, we gotta check out the new aesthetics on Bad Juju. So I'm sure it's not live right now. It's probably will be live with the arrival of Revenant. X-Doris, this funny grenade launcher. Increased direct hit damage by 33%. Increased recoil on projectile to have a much flatter trajectory by doing the following. Reduced camera roll recoil by firing by 50%. Increased projectile velocity. Increased projectile gravity. Plus 5 ammo in reserves. Now spawns a moth on 2 direct hits. Nice. That's a good. That's a decent buff for X-Doris. I don't think it's going to be a meta weapon ever, but it's good. Fighting Line has a dedicated fan base that has been overshadowed by more recent additions to the sandbox. Yeah, now spawns that volatile burst on direct hits. Yes, that's massive. Prospector now spawns 3 powerful cluster bombs on detonation, dealing substantially more damage per shot over a larger area than previously. Okay. Remove sticky grenades, flame grenade, and remote detonation function. Mag size reduced to 6. Bonus ammo reserves on the catalyst changed to plus 50 reload speed. Alright, I'll have to test that out. Chaperone added the ability to trigger Roadborne on 2 rapid precision hits. Precision hits with Roadborne active also extend it by 3 seconds. Plus 20 stability percent. Plus 25 reload speed. Roadborne is active. Increased base ammo reserves. And Lumina updated hipfire projectiles to behave more closely to support auto frame healing shots. Gotcha. Makes sense, actually. Weapon perks. We got Slice. Now works correctly in Crucible. Slideways can now be refreshed if you slide again after the completion of an initial slide. Alloy Mag now increases the reload speed when the magazine is near empty. Okay, so not just completely empty. It could be near empty. That's actually a nice change to Alloy Mag. Autoloading holster. Increased time to reload by 1 second for both based and enhanced. What? You're nerfing autoloading holster? Why do you hate us? Reconstruction. Increased time to start reloading by 2 seconds for both based and enhanced. Damn, that is a harsh nerf to autoloading and reconstruction, but probably deserved, I guess, because they're so much more powerful than other perks in the game, but damn. Master of Arms can now stack ×2. ×1 grants 15% for 7 seconds. ×2 is 25% damage bonus for 4 seconds. And drops back to ×1 when the timer expires. Dawning Origin removes the time limit between kills. Now requires kills in a life instead of rapid succession. Iron Banner, we got Iron Reach, Iron Gaze, Iron Grip. Reduce the downside penalties from -30 to 20. -25 to 15 for the enhanced, so they have less penalties for these Iron Banner perks. Weapon mods. Here we go. Adding the new weapon mods to add a bit more variety. Okay, we got some new weapon mods in here. Very cool. Added several new weapon mods that can be equipped on enhanced or crafted weapons. Here's the list of the breakdown by category. Ballistics increases range / stability. Tactical reload / handling. Aerodynamics, blast radius / projectile speed. Tension, draw time accuracy. Edge, charge rate, and guard resistance. Anti-flinch, 15% reduction. Ammo finder enhancement. Excuse me. Special finder enhancement progresses roughly 10% faster per kill with this weapon. Heavy finder enhancement progresses 10% faster. That's actually sick. What? Optics mod allows customization of weapon zoom. Marksman, optics, sniper rifle, linear fusion, scout rifle, bow, machine gun, trace rifle, rocket launcher. Marksman, high +2 zoom, low -2 zoom. What? That's a crazy mod. CQC optics. We have hand cannon, pulse rifle, auto rifle, submachine gun, sidearm, fusion rifle, breech load, grenade launcher, drum, grenade launcher. High +1 zoom, low -1 zoom. Very interesting. Synergy, escalating chance to spawn a subclass bauble matching this weapon's damage type. Kinetic weapons spawn an orb of power instead. Stun loader partially refills the weapon's magazine on stunning a champion. Very cool. Bunch of cool new weapon mods. Thoughts on the future? And while Revenant and Heresy Beyond is in the bag, we're looking at the Heresy now. They're going to be talking about that. We have some great changes for including significant updates to glaives, a particularly underutilized heavy ammo sniper, Darcy, and even aggressive frame fusion rifles further down the line. We have wide changes to the overall ammo economy, including more determinism and build crafting options. Well, there you have it. That is a very spicy Twid indeed. You stayed tuned to the very end. I appreciate you. You're a legend for that. And that's a wrap on this one. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Later.